To our third SHAC meeting, our third, can't believe it, third SHAC meeting. My name is Maria Juarez. I am the president of SHAC, and on behalf of Teresa and Dr. Epps, we welcome you to today. We are very grateful that you are here, and we welcome you today and in the future, so don't forget. I would like to start by calling a member of our community, Ms. Jackie Jackson, so that she can say the prayer before we have the meal.
Good morning. Bow your heads, please. Father God, in the name of Jesus, please, Jesus, look down upon us as we begin this wonderful meeting that we generally have. I haven't been here, but Lord, you know why. And God, we ask that you, please, God, that you look down upon us. Bless each and every one of us that are gathered here today for whatever they have to share with us, and that you will bless the food we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies, that you bless the hands that prepared it and the conditions they were prepared in. These blessings we ask in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. I appreciate it. Okay, well, we're going to break for a few minutes. Also, I want to make an announcement that our meeting is being recorded so that our people in their homes or from wherever they're located, they can log on and watch our meeting. So just be mindful of that. Okay, if we can break for lunch, thanks to Melissa and our friends here, we have delicious barbecue. So please, we can start wherever. Please, just the sooner we get to the food, the sooner we can start our meeting. Okay? Thank you so much. Oh, the barbecue is in the spirit of the rodeo. Forgot to say that. Woohoo! Forgot my boots today. I am so glad you're enjoying your food. At this time, I'm going to call Teresa so she can announce our speaker, okay?
All righty. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're all here, and hope the weather just stays nice for us for a little while. Today we have Harris County Public Health, and we have Yasmin Hart that's going to speak to us, and her assistant, Miss Alicia Fontenot, or her partner. And you have a microphone, or you can stand here. We have a clicker.
Okay, is it like back and forth? Because I know last time. That'll suffice. I think they can't see it. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to move around a little bit. I don't necessarily just want to stand in front of the podium. This clicker may not work. I know I've had issues with clickers in the past, so mine, forgive me, I end up switching to the opposite direction. So, you see what I'm saying? I was about to go to the wrong way. All right. So once again, thank you, Ms. Teresa, for inviting me to come here to talk to you guys today. Similar to what she was saying before, my name is Yasmin Hart. I'm part of the Built Environment Program at Harris County Public Health. I'm the Community Health and Design Specialist, and here I have my coworker. Her name is Alicia Fontenot, and she works with water and food access. So today, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about a project that I've been doing in the Cloverleaf area for about over a year now. So we've been here for a little minute. And to just give you a quick outline of this project, how it's going to flow, we're going to go over some definitions just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And then we're going to shift into talking about the project information and also why it's important for us to focus on this type of work. And then, of course, at the end, some questions. See, that's the... Yep, girl, go ahead. Do it from the... All right. Really quickly, to get us started, who knows what the built environment is? The built environment. When y'all hear that word, what comes to mind? Infrastructure, what else? Neighborhood, sidewalks. Longevity of the community. So all of these different things that you stated makes up the built environment. We think it's very important to kind of outline what the built environment is because oftentimes when we hear that word, we think only infrastructure. We think only our roads. And I mean, heck, our team sometimes is only considered to be the sidewalk people. But in all actuality, what we care about or want to focus on is the health of the community. We want to think about how is the construction of your community, your schools, your roads, your sidewalks, where your housing is placed, how it's built out, how all those different things affect how you navigate in your community, but also how does it affect your health. A good example of this is, say you have a community that has sidewalks, and you compare it to a community that doesn't. In a community that has sidewalks, you're more likely to see community members walking around and moving. And movement means what? Health. Your kids are getting active, you're able to get places. So you typically see more physical activity in that neighborhood that's constructed to support activity versus the one that isn't. So all this to say is that your environment actually shapes your decisions, which shapes your health. You can click to the next one. All right, so for this particular topic, with that in mind, one of the things that we're focusing on is neighborhood nuisance. When I say nuisance, I guess what typically comes to mind is something that bothers you, right? It's a pest. It's something that's bothersome. Sometimes we may think our kids are a little bit bothersome. Just kidding. But for the sake of this presentation, when I'm talking about nuisance, I'm specifically talking about a public nuisance, and that is defined in our health code. So it's literally any activity, condition, or situation that disrupts the use or enjoyment of public property and can impact the health, safety, or comfort of the community. That literally means whatever your neighbor's doing, if they're blasting music, they're bothering you, right? If they have roaches or rats or anything, it does not stop those things from coming to your property. So just because it's happening on someone's personal property doesn't mean it doesn't have an impact or effect on you. So at Harris County Public Health, we do have a nuisance abatement team, and these are the types of nuisances that we specifically deal with. So properties where you see an excess of weeds and tall grass, conditions that lead to the harborage of pests like rats, for example, trash, unsafe structures, so when you see abandoned buildings and things of that nature, dilapidated structures, and other unsanitary conditions. Yeah. You can go again. So while our nuisance abatement program at Harris County Public Health deals with those types of nuisances, there are also other agencies that you all are familiar with that deals with other types of nuisances. So if someone's dumping something in your waterway, for example, or someone is dumping in the right-of-way, like on the Nutri-Ground. So we work very closely with Harris County Pollution Control, with your Public Works Department, with Harris County Pets when you see the dogs running around. We work with them to try to have a coordinated response. So for this project in particular, we are made up of a multidisciplinary team. We decided to partner with the Precinct 2 to put this project on. I know many of you are already probably familiar with Luz Lopez, and so she has been a really great help in supporting and pushing this project forward. Now, I've talked a whole lot about all the definitions, and so now I feel comfortable that we're all on the same page. So anything I say from this point, there will be no confusion. So how did we come up with a project that's centered around nuisance? Well, our nuisance abatement team, we primarily collect complaint data. And Cloverleaf, as small as it is, has one of the highest rates of complaint data when it comes down to nuisance issues. I want to show you an example of what that looks like. Look at this map. You see all of Harris County, but you also see the precinct as well. And you notice in the larger map in that red area, that's Cloverleaf. That is where a lot of our complaint data comes from. And you can see how it zeroes in to the North Channel area, then specifically to the neighborhood. And this is a depiction of debris removal. So the types of nuisance issue that persist consistently in Cloverleaf is trash. There's a lot of illegal dumping and things like that happening in the space. So we sought to understand why that is. Why Cloverleaf? Given that Cloverleaf is this really small area and it's pretty large county, even within the North Channel area itself. In addition to that, not only did we want to understand the underlying reasons behind the nuisance issues that persist here, but we also wanted to work with the community to build capacity towards sustainable nuisance management. What do I mean when I say that? It just means that the community has the capacity to tackle this issue as well, not without necessarily having to rely solely on any particular agency, but you have the capacity to deal with this. Why is it important to deal with nuisance issues? These are just some examples. It has health impacts. When you have accumulated trash and things like that, you're exposed to insects and rodents and all of these different pests that have the ability to transfer disease. Safety and crime. As research has shown us, crime likes to be in places where it can hide, right? When you're seeing crime, they're utilizing your environment in which to promote whatever activity that they're doing. Economic stability. When you have dilapidated structures around you, your housing value goes down. So you start to see the economic effects. People don't want to move in and invest in the community when they see these types of things. And then last but not least, reduce quality of life. How many of you can kind of sometimes feel stressed by the environment that you're in? if it doesn't look good, right? It's serene when you can just walk in a nice environment, you see the sky, the clouds, the sun shining, you feel good about yourself. So these are just some of the negative impacts of living in an area where nuisance such as illegal dumping and trash accumulation is an issue. So how do we plan on working with the community to deal with this problem? So we are interested in co-creating an action plan. What do I mean when I say an action plan? It literally means working with the community to first understand what it is that you want, what are your priorities, and how can we make that a reality? Like sometimes a lot of us are interested in creating change, but we don't necessarily know where to start. Like I want to change this, but where do I start? Who do I work with? Am I the only person who feels this way? Like those types of questions come up. So what we're interested in doing is connecting you with your neighbor, number one, because your experiences are similar. And sometimes the issue is that we're not talking to each other. We're not sharing our experiences with each other. The second thing is we want to help you, I guess you could say, make it more specific what it is that you want. Do you want more sidewalks? Do you want more support with this particular item? Do you want more trash pickup days? But to be able to put that out there, we need to first ask you what it is that you want and what is your lived experience. And lastly, but most importantly, we want to connect you with resources to help make the actions that you want to see a reality. So if you want, for example, safe routes to school, how can I connect you with a program or a resource that's already existing, for example, that will put on that type of program in your community? So it's a step-by-step process that makes the process of taking action easier and simpler. So this is just an example of what that looks like. So first and foremost, it's community-driven. You have tangible actions. And lastly, it's going to identify what the resources are and what the process you have to go through to actually implement it. And this is a good example at the end to kind of put that into perspective. So one recommendation is you want to enhance pedestrian safety around a school by installing crosswalks, pedestrian signs, and you want to implement a safe route school program. Well, what action do you need to take to make that a reality? Well, you can lobby the city council. On top of that, you can have PTA volunteers or people like in this room to kind of come out and volunteer as well. So it's about helping make the action, I think, more realistic and attainable. And most importantly, this is an iterative process. So the action plan has to be informed by your lived experience. So we have been consistently throughout the variation of this project and its respective phases going back to the community. And I see some familiar faces in here. So I've been here just asking questions, getting to know you, making myself a resource so I can better understand what your needs are. And these are just some examples of some of the community engagement projects that we have done in the space. So we've been able to work with a lot of amazing stakeholders here. I've worked with different constituents of Galena Park I.S.D. I've worked with constituents of the precinct. Like I said, just to better understand what's going on in this space so that the product that I'm leaving behind is actually going to be useful. So we are in phase 3 of this project. We've already went through the partnership stage, built relationships with a lot of different stakeholders who do work in the Cloverleaf area, in the North Channel area, from the Rotary Club to Galena Park I.S.D. Phase 2 was really about us gathering information so that we could better understand your lived experience. And then now we're on to phase 3, where we're actually focused on taking that information and producing recommendations based on what it is that you've shared with us. So we encourage you to be a part of this project. Our next event is going to be next weekend, February 28th at the YMCA off of Wallaceville. This would be a great opportunity for you to see what the draft recommendations are based on the information that I've received from the community. This would be an opportunity for agencies such as the Public Works Department, people from the Sheriff's Department, to connect with community members to actually talk about these recommendations, to agree upon what the actions are, but also who can help put these actions into place. Like, how can we make them more of a reality? So in addition to that, food is going to be provided. It's going to be a bilingual event, so anybody has the capacity to attend this event. We want to make sure that we're being inclusive. And yeah, that's it. The last thing is that we are trying to put on a resource fair as a closing out of this project, and more information will come from that as we continue to plan it out. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So we will leave it with several different agencies. We will leave it with the precinct. So for example, Luz Lopez is a pretty active member within the community, and so we will leave it with her. We will leave it with Public Works Department. Anybody in this community has the ability to access that information, and it's a living, breathing, working document. So it has the capacity to change to fit whatever direction the community wants to go through. I would say in the ideal world, I would have loved to be able to stay here and spend more time so that a community group could have been more appropriately built out, because that has been something that has been strongly expressed, but where is that going to be housed? Who has the capacity to put it together and host it? Those are some of the larger questions, but I am working with her to kind of figure out what that looks like. The resources. So yeah, one of the things we realized is that there are a lot of different resources already available, and the problem is we don't know about it. Or there's a disconnect between agencies and the community members, so they don't know what you want, so they can't put on what you want. So the idea is to kind of bridge that gap and make that conversation a bit easier. So that's where the resources would come from. It would be us talking to these respective partners and saying, hey, is this something that you can assist with? Is this something that you can help the community? What does the timeline look like for this as well? We're not going to leave y'all hanging. That's not the goal of this project at all. Any other questions? So there is a level of excitement, but I think there's a level of exhaustion as well. This is one of the communities I think that is over-planned. A lot of promises have been made to this community, and so while there is excitement about the project and being involved, I think people are ready for action, and they're ready for action now. And so I think one of the things that I've been aiming to do with this project is to showcase that while I respect people's ability and desire to be ready for action, it does require you to figure out how can you be active as well. Is that you attending meetings? Is that you, sharing flyers or anything of that nature? So that has been the largest reception. Excitement about the project and excitement to kind of deal with this issue because it has been affecting people in different ways, especially if you live very close to nuisance spots. However, I think it's that push or encouragement for them to actually utilize the systems that are available to them. But unfortunately, there's been some loss in faith in those systems, which is a valid, understand that. When they're not functioning well, people don't have a desire to want to use them. So the actions are going to be based on whatever the priority is that the community outlines. So for example, one of the things that has been expressed is wanting to have more heavy pickup days. So how can we work with the water department, which is one of the places that helps you deal with that trash, but also how can we work with the public works department? How can we connect those two entities and the services that they provide to make the process of picking up heavy trash easier? So if that's something that the community has expressed, like, hey, we want that, then one of the actions can be increase heavy trash pickup to X amount of times a week. Okay, who are the resources? Public Works Department, the Water Department potentially. How long would it take to put that on? And we would work with them to kind of figure out what that looks like. Because it costs money, y'all. It costs money. And I wish I had a picture up here to kind of show you how significant it is. And I don't know if many people are familiar, but do anybody remember that property that was right there off of Freeport in Corpus Christi? It kind of burnt down, and then it burnt the apartment. Guess how much it cost to actually clean that property up? Around $70,000. That was one cleanup, right? What's preventing that property from going back to being a dump site? Do you have $70,000 to keep throwing around every couple of months? I don't either. So this is one of the reasons why we have to start focusing on prevention. How can we prevent these things from happening? Then being simply responsive, because that money that they're spending to clean up could be shifted somewhere else. Any more questions? Ooh, so that, I'm sorry. That's important because that question has come up. So technically speaking, Cloverleaf is unincorporated. It is part of the county. It is not part of the city of Houston, but it does bridges. And so I know that that has created a lot of confusion in regards to what services are provided to what residents. And so that's something else that has come up during the project. And so how can we make that clear, where that division is? And hopefully, long term, because this project has largely been done without the cooperation of the city of Houston, because we haven't asked them, how can we, continue to better coordinate our services so that they work a little bit more seamless? Because I know that jurisdictional boundary definitely creates complications. Anybody else? I completely agree with you. I would say that luckily we were able to hold a Spanish focus group, at the end of January? We were able to host one with the help of Luz to kind of get, to be able to engage that population a little bit more. So I do understand that there is some level of disenfranchisement between the populations that exist in Cloverleaf. And from what I've seen, it's typically your larger Hispanic population, and then you have like the folks who have been staying here for 60 plus years, who may have been here way back then, who are typically elderly or may identify as being white. So how do you understand the differences between those populations and trying to figure out what are ways to kind of connect them more effectively? So that it's its own challenge. Any more questions? Yes. Honestly, share the flyer and word of mouth. So I noticed that in Cloverleaf, word of mouth is one of the biggest things. I'm going to tell my friend, and my friend is going to tell the cousin and the mom and everybody else, because not everybody utilizes the same platform. Unfortunately, you may have some folks who are like, okay, I can check it out on Facebook, but depending upon who you are, how you receive information is different. But we've been trying to utilize a combination of different ways, but word of mouth for sure. And if you want to post a flyer, post a flyer. So we've been definitely utilizing different avenues to reach different people. Mm-hmm. That is something that has come up as well during the project. No, I definitely agree. I think based on this project, I will say Galena Park I.S.D. is one of the most trusted sources at this point in time for the community, in comparison to some others. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any more comments or questions? Okay, well, we do have some flyers that we're going to leave with everybody. I also have my business card, so if anybody has questions and they want to contact me later, you can do that as well. But thank you so much for giving me time to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate it. For some new business, you have a little flyer in your folder. And if you don't have one, I can get you one. It has QR codes on here for our wellness plan for the district. And then it has the corrections that were made. And this is done every 3 years on our triennial. It's called a triennial assessment. And it's a lot of pages, so that's why you have to use the QR code to see it. And then we'll present that to the board. Back to...
Yes, at this time, can we review the last meeting's minutes? We'll give you a few seconds to review them. And after that, I call for approval of the minutes. Atrás de la otra página de la información de la última cita que tuvimos está atrás, está en español también por si quieren revisarla. I call for approval of the minutes. Motion. Your name, your full name? Carmela Garcia, thank you. I call for second. Your name? Ms. Jackley, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I also would like to inform you that our next meeting is going to be April 8th, and we normally call it a baby shower meeting because we collect items that we can donate to three of our child care facilities. And so, wow, it went from 1 to 3 now. So we need your help if you can. Here is a list of the things that are mostly required. If you guys can help us and bring donations next time, we would greatly appreciate it, okay? It gives you a very good list, but if you have an idea of anything else besides this, please bring it. I'm sure we can use it. I totally appreciate you for that. And the last thing is that we have an evaluation form. If you can please fill this out, you can utilize your phone and complete it so that you can evaluate us. And also it gives you an opportunity to give us any ideas for future meetings. I would greatly appreciate that too. Information that we bring to you is community-based, health-based, obviously are district-based, and so if you have any information that you would like to learn about, or if you'd like to hear about, give us that idea, and then we can bring it to light, okay? We would love your evaluation and your suggestions and your support.
Mm-hmm. And also on the end of your tables is a sign-in sheet, if you can make sure it goes down the row. And thank you for RSVPing for today. And when you do sign up for next year, for April, please RSVP so we can make sure we have enough food for everyone to show up. And we want to thank our ladies again for assisting us with our lunch, and Dr. Epps for providing.
Good. Is it afternoon yet already? Good afternoon. I just wanted to say, of course, again, thank you to all those that showed up. So glad to see you all. Happy New Year for those we hadn't seen. I know it's like, how long do you say Happy New Year? Well, now I've seen you. Happy New Year. But I did want to share just a couple of things, great things going on here in Galena Park I.S.D. and to answer one of the questions, because some of you seem, we have 3 child care centers. Well, actually, we do. We've had 3 now for a very long time. Our first center is our Early Head Start program. Anna Laura is here. She's the director of our Early Head Start program, and our Early Head Start program is is a federally funded program. And that program actually, the initial purpose of that program is to service families in the community. Okay, so you must live in the Galena Park community in order to take advantage of those services at our Early Head Start program. The program that sits right next to hers, which is also at the Becker Center, is one of our child care centers. That was our original child care center that started out servicing our teen parents. And then several years ago, we branched out, and not only do we serve teen parents, but we also have our employees can bring their children as well for a nice little fee, all right? So several years ago, we started small, didn't think we'd have enough parents. I think when we first opened, we offered 10 slots. My, have we grown, okay? We have waiting lists now. And then that took us a few years ago when they were doing the rebuild for North Shore Elementary, we decided we needed a North Side District Child Care Center, and now we have one as of the last several years on the North Side as well. Where we're able to also service our teen parents and our district employees. And let me tell you something, ladies, last time I checked, we stay at capacity. Matter of fact, on the north side, not only did we have an entire wing, but we just opened and added 2 portable buildings there. So we added 2 more classes at our north side center. And Ms. Garrett, this was her first year being a director. She got to be a director for the first time of the largest daycare center in the district and 2 new portables. So give her a round of applause.
Great job.
And she has not quit on me yet. So very, very grateful, thankful to all of these ladies because they work with our most precious pieces here in the district, the little bitty ones. And if you think it's hard to corral teenagers, try corralling 3 and 4-year-olds, all right, or infants. And so the items that you will bring for our next meeting, they go to those young teens there, or even sometimes some of our parents who are not able to produce or provide the diapers or the different things for their children. So yes, we've actually had 3 for a while now. Always had, pretty much had 2, but had 3, because we just celebrated 25 years at Early Head Start, which means we're at how many years for PEP, Diane? 35? A lot. Yeah, we'll just go with a lot, okay? That sounds like a good number. And then probably definitely within the last 5 to 10 years, we opened the one on the north side. So we have lots of babies around Galena Park I.S.D., which is good for us. And it's definitely a drawing card for our employees, right? So we use it as a selling point when we go out and we try to recruit for teachers that, hey, we have a daycare right here in the district. And one of the beauties of the daycare that we do have for our employees is that we only charge for the weeks that the children are there. I don't know if y'all remember old school daycare, but whether your child was there or not, remember those weeks they charged you for Christmas and all that kind of stuff? And they probably still do. I don't know. I haven't had one in a while. But we don't charge for those weeks, and we allow our employees it's a direct draft. So we try to make it as easy as possible to get their money. And we try to be competitive with daycares in our area. So, and the children that are actually able to eat, our student nutrition, Mr. Auburn's here in the room, our student nutrition department actually provides those meals for them. So we are serious about our business there. We are a TRS, not teacher retirement, but Texas Rising Star Centers, and we're NACE accredited. So lots of great things going on at our child care centers. But any way that you can be a blessing to them is going to be a plus for us. So please do that. Also want to let you know we came today fresh off of, anybody live in the Cimarron area community? We just did a groundbreaking today. They're getting a brand new school over at Cimarron, so we're excited about that. When we broke ground, we had them take pictures with little bitty children because we said they're probably the only ones that might still be around, by the time that building goes up. Some of us may be gone on to retirement land by then, but they will definitely be there once that building goes up. And we did a groundbreaking about a month or so ago at Galena Park High School. Galena Park High School is getting a new campus. Excited about that. We have another groundbreaking coming up next month for over at North Shore Senior High. We're going to be getting a multi-use facility development building there. And so lots of great things going on in Galena Park I.S.D., though we do see lots of school districts around us closing schools. Thankfully, we're not there yet. I say yet because we never know, but very grateful that Galena Park continues to truly be a great place to be. And it's a result of the things that you all do as our community members, our board member representatives. One is here with us today. So just please continue to let us be of service to you, and we'll continue to meet with you guys. So can you believe we got one more meeting this year? Can you believe that? The year's almost gone. So please pray for us that are in education, because now we got to get from now to the end of May, and with all the little people, all right? So thank you all for being here, and I will pass the microphone back. Thank you all, and happy rodeo. Hope you all enjoyed the theme. I would love to take credit for this, but my secretary is about as creative as anybody can be. And I don't even know how she thinks of all this stuff to do, but she sure makes us look good, and she brings her friends back there with her to make us look good, too. So, ladies, thank you. We can't say thank you enough. And to our speaker as well. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. And our meeting is over.
Okay. I
We
just have a
appreciate
couple
you.
of other things to
Oh,
just say.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. February is American Heart Month. So I just wanted to remind you to make sure you're eating your vegetables and fruits and walking, do some type of exercise every day. Get up and down out of your chair so we can see you here next time. February is also school-based clinic month, I believe. And so we have our 4 legacy clinics, and it's also dental month, and we do have a dental facility at our Cloverleaf ACT clinic. Our kids can go there, staff kids can go there, and outside community can go there. So the ACT clinic, school-based clinic part, only our students and our staff students can go. But they're available for Cloverleaf area, so we're trying to build it up. So thank y'all again very much for coming.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. See you in April. Please put it in your calendars, and we'll see you here in April, okay? With your baby shower gift. Thank you.